Good day, Miss Bonaobra. Good day, classmate. In this documentation, we were able to gather all the relevant information provided by the people in Congress and Senate. We were able to meet those people who help us understand every details we need to learn.
Last January 18, 2019, I interviewed Congressman Yul Sarboneto about in Congress. He said that he is the part of majority and sector which represent a district of Manila. He can be elected again because of our constitution that can be elected 3 terms, which is equivalent to 9 years or 3 terms. After 9 years in serving the government, he said that you can run again but in a different position like mayor, vice mayor, councilor, or even governor. The biggest part of interviews I learned what is the difference between simple resolution and concurrent resolution. At first, I thought that's the same like joint resolution, but it's not rather. Then he answered that a simple resolution is when you want to investigate someone, you can use a resolution that you should file in the Congress that goes to rules and if you should continue on what you're doing for the people of the Philippines or not. But in the Congress, just write a resolution. The difference between concurrent is you need to put whereas section of whatever you want to know. And I thank Congressman Yul Sarboneto for giving me a chance to interview him. To the readers, I just want you to know that experiencing this kind of documentary makes you realize what are the importance and ideas being a legal management students.
I am here to report about what I have learned about being Secretary of Congress. He said that you should know all what you are doing because you are entitled as Secretary. And for being Secretary, you need to be responsible, and as a Secretary, we should know how to communicate to the people you are interacting with. And you should know the respective of the higher official in you. You should know the legislative in 23 barangays that in his jurisdiction and the 150 legislation. For the secretaries, we also have difficulties that we encounter during at work. We made mistake, and we will able to learn about our constitution, about our lives. And I encourage you to take it slow and just enjoy what you are doing.
Ilang beses na kayo nag-serve sa
Nag-start ako mag-serve sa government 2007 hanggang ngayon. Bali naka-ano na ako, naka-apat na laban. Kaya nakagraduate ako ng council. Tatlong term.
Kapag natapos po yung 3 years po, pwede po bang po?
Pwede ba? Hanggang ang tatlong term sa constitution natin, 3 years kada isang term. Bali sa pwede ka 9 years, tatlong term. Tapos graduate ka na. Hintay ka naman ng another isang term ulit. Tapos takbo ako. After 9 years, pwede kang tumakbo ulit kung gusto mo, pero sa mas ibang posisyon na. Kunyari, konsyal, pwede kang takbo na vice mayor, mayor, congressman, senator, board member, vice pro.
Yung pang-apat po, ano po yung taong na pwedeng tumakbo bilang Congress?
Kada 3 years, kada election tulad ngayon, 2007, 2010, 2013, 2016, 2019, yun yung mga pagitan ng pagtakbo. 2019 ngayon, sa yung taon na to, May 13, may election ulit, tapos 2022, meron ulit.
Last February 12, 2019, we went to the Senate of the Philippines at Pasay City to see an appointment to interview either senator or secretary, even the staff. Unfortunately, the time that we went there is the first day of campaign period. And all of the senators, their legislative staff are on the field of the said campaign. We just decided to submit our appointment letter to all senators that we want to have an interview and received by their staff, and they gave us the contact number so we can call them to us when we can get an appointment. Some of the staff told us that we should email our possible questions and let their legislative staff answer it through email.
Last March 5, 2019, we went to Senate of the Philippines to conduct an interview with Mr. Ramon Navarra, Director in Political Affairs of Senator Riza Contiveros. According to him, senators can only ratify things. On the other hand, House of Representatives filed bills on local application, and they also has the first crack on laws of taxation or bills on taxation. He also mentioned that the problems encountered when proposing a law is a public hearings like train law. He said that they need to balance on what would be the effect in the people. Lack of time to pass in Senate and in House of Representatives. That's why it always back to square one. The jurisdiction is in Senate is far from the House of Representatives because Senate is a national scale while House of Representatives is by district and party list.
Ito ba yung tanong, what are the duties and responsibility of the Senate compared to House of Representatives?
Okay. Basically, the Congress of the Philippines is composed of both the House of Representatives and the Senate. So what are the differences? It's only the Senate who can ratify treaties. On the other hand, it's the House of Representatives who can file bills of local application. They also has the first crack on laws on taxation or bills on taxation. And the most important piece of legislation, the General Appropriations Bill, has to emanate from the House. So, ano ba bang difference? Well, unlike in the states where the Vice President sits as the Senate President, here the 24 senators elect among themselves who becomes the Senate President.
Senator Santos.
Senator Soto. And then, unlike in the states where the Senate is the Commission on Appointments, no, dito the Commission on Appointments is composed of 13 senators and 12 congressmen. Yeah.
Ibang-iba yung...
And the Commission on Appointments would pass upon the appointments of ambassadors and career ministers of our foreign service, and then the promotion of military from the rank of colonel up, as well as to confirm the appointments of the president, yung appointment niya ng mga cabinet secretaries and members of the Constitutional Commission, so COMELEC, Civil Service, Commission on Audit.
Second question, how
Yes.
does the Senate create or approve the law or coming from House of Representatives?
Well, all bills have to be read on the floor. So once the bill is approved on third reading in the House, it's transmitted to the Senate, and then it's read on first reading and referred to the committee where the committee that is supposed to handle it. If there is no counterpart in the Senate, then the committee can already take into consideration the bill that was approved in the House. So usually pag local bills yan, halimbawa, creating a school in Pasay City, creating a debt-led school in Pasay City, usually the senators don't file a counterpart bill. So what happens is, once it's approved in the House, it's sent to the Senate. That's the only time that the Committee on Education can conduct a hearing on the subject matter. So it comes up with the committee report, goes through debates, and if there are enough senators who will vote for that bill, then it's passed in the Senate. So pag may parehong version na yung Senate at saka House, that's the time they either go into the BICAM, meaning if there are differences in the two bills, they try to resolve it. No? But if there are no differences, then they send it to Malacanang for signature.
Signature ng president.
Yes.
The third question, what are the difference of the following? Bill, simple resolution, concurrent resolution, and joint resolution.
So a bill is basically a draft law. Several sections, introduction, may explanatory note, kung bang mga contents yun. Different sections, usually meron siyang repealing section, may clause siya on appropriation, kung appropriation measure siya. While a resolution can, for example, request the Senate to look into a particular transaction that happened in, let's say, in the executive department, asking the Senate to investigate. Yun ang resolution. Ang concurrent naman, it's both the Senate and the House filing two resolutions together. Pag joint, it's almost the same, except that parang antayin mo munang ma-approve yung nandito na ako sa concurrent at saka joint. Yung sa concurrent resolution. Parang alam ko halos pareho lang yun. But there's a fun. I need to review what the difference is. But you need to pass both. So that it becomes
Parang same lang po sila. May patakal ko na lang po.
it has to be passed by both houses to become parang law. Yung simple resolution only affects the chamber that passed it. So kung resolution lang siya ng Senate, dun lang siya.
We would like to take this opportunity to thank Mrs. Bonaobra for allowing us to experience with politicians. This activity helped us to boost our confidence in speaking clear and loudly. We also want to thank all the staff for showing their generosity during our interviews and for accommodating us.